Hey guys, welcome to our all new scrap metal art video with Matt. Today I'm going to show you how I made this cool funky looking pig, but first you're going to need a few things. Alright guys, so I got my parts that I'm going to be using for this. I found some nice bearings over there that I can use for eyes. Got these old pipes right here, these nipples with caps I can use for the legs. And of course we're going to be cutting off this handle last to make for the ears on the pig right here guys. So what I need to do first though is this center hole. I'm just going to go off of it. I'm just going to take my little speed square and just go up and over just to give me a baseline of where to kind of put my first two legs. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on doing that first. Alright, so I have my center marked right here with this hole going all the way across, and what I did is I went about 2 inches over, and then I went about 4 inches over, and I just stuck my little leg I'm going to use right here and just kind of circled it. Then I did the same exact thing on this side and circled it, and then I went about 5 inches from the center this way on both of these. So what I'm going to do real quick with those before we get started with that is I'm just going to go ahead and clean this areas up with the circles so that I'll have some nice clean metal. Alright, so next I took my speed square and I went about 2 inches on each side from the rim right here with my square and marked it with crosshairs. So that tells me where I need to set my piece about the midpoint right there, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and put just the 2 on this side first. Alright, so next what I want to do is just go ahead and weld one onto this one right here, and then we're going to turn it over, make sure it's going to sit right before we weld our fourth leg in place. Alright, so to get the desired height that I wanted it to kind of sit its stance at, I took a clamp right here and a speed square and lined it to where I wanted it on the speed square and got my last leg in place. So I'm going to go ahead and weld that into place now. Alright, so I got the stance that I was after right there, guys. Kind of like a funny stance, like it's, you know, like, whoa, you know. So now what I need to do is cut off this top right here that we're going to be using for ears and go ahead and cut this valve off. So we're going to do that real quick, carefully. Alright, so now that we've got those handles cut off, all I want to do now is just take a hammer and just flatten them out, guys, and just want to beat it right here in the middle, and it should make it all flatten out to the point where you can just need to barely tap that inside. So start with that thick part right there first. Then go ahead and do that to both of them, and then clean up your cut off edges and stuff real good to weld on. Alright, so I got the eyes welded into place. So now what I need to do is I'm going to take this big can that I have right here from a can of soup, and I just want to cut it right in half because I want to use the end right here for a nose. Now this one right here is just a little long, so I'm just going to cut it about right here to shorten it up just a little bit. Alright, so I got my can cut right here, guys, to the size I want it to be right there. So what we need to do is clean up this area, clean up all these little sharp burrs or anything left over, and kind of grind and smooth it down. That way we can weld this into place. Alright, so I got all that cleaned up and smoothed down and all, so now I'm ready to go ahead and tack this piece on real fast. Alright, so I got the nose in place finally now. So what I want to do is just take a drill bit and just drill me 2 little holes right here on the sides. Just like that. Make it look like it's got nostrils. Alright, so I took my square and went down the middle line towards the back here, because no pig's complete without a tail, guys. I didn't have a spring like a lot of people like to use in there, but what I'm going to use is this little piece right here. So I'm going to line that up right there on my line, give it a nice little squint, and go ahead and tack that on. Alright guys, so now everything is done as far as the welding part. I got it nice to where I want it at. So now I just need to go ahead and coat it down with some primer before we paint it. Alright guys, so I was looking through my paints now that my primer is dry, and I found this nice color right here. So that is what I'm going to paint the pig with, guys. And I'm not going to get too technical with doing all these different colors and stuff. I'm just going to paint the pig one solid color. So got that nice and stirred up. Now I can go ahead and start painting. Alright, so we got it all painted now, so I'm just going to walk away for a couple of hours and let that dry, and if it needs another coat, we'll throw another coat on there. Alright guys, so there we go. The pig is now painted and complete. To take a quick look around. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to hit that like button down below for me, guys, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful week. Peace.